What's up, agents, and welcome back to another Division video where we're going to get straight into it. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give the video a thumbs up, and as always, let me know what you think down below in the comments. I'm going to show you the build right off the rip. So I've been really trying to do an Eagle Bearer build this morning with the Provocateur, because the Eagle Bearer has a damage nullifying talent. So it kind of makes sense that you could pair it with something else that does similar, where we get receive 25% damage resistance from enemies within 20 meters. Which you think, do you know what, they could go really well together. And then you think about protection from elite mods and things like that. And I kind of went down that path with it and just found myself not doing enough damage. I tried it in Legendary. I didn't do anywhere near enough damage, although I did survive a little bit better, but I really wasn't contributing to a team, or really I couldn't do it solo. And obviously we can do Legendary solo with other builds, so it kind of felt pointless. And I just came away from it. I was like, do you know what, this is not working. And then I landed here. I thought, do you know what, I haven't used Intimidate in a long time. It often gets mentioned in my YouTube comments, and although I'm not necessarily a huge fan of it, it pairs well with a couple of things. We can use the Liquid Engineer for armor regen and Perfect Bloodsucker. Killing an enemy adds a stack of 12% bonus armor for 10 seconds, which means that pretty much all we have to do is kill. We're in bonus armor and Intimidate starts to work. You can pair it with the Memento as well. I know a lot of people like to do this. Obviously, this gives you the all 3 cores, which is great. But you have to collect the trophy to be, you know, for the damage, that's the bonus armor to start. So that's a little bit of a downfall for it, and that's why I tend to lean towards the Liquid Engineer, because my survivability then comes in the fact that I'm doing more damage because the talent is active more of the time, which is kind of a bit of a contradiction, because you just think, well, Memento is also providing damage depending on how many red cores that you've got. But again, you've got to collect the token, and if you're in maybe a difficult situation, you can't get to a token and things like that, then, you know, that's its downfall. But either or work perfectly fine, and you can make that choice and make that decision. It really doesn't matter which one you put here. You can see I've got a blue core here. But then we come down to another decision. Do we use the Unit Alloys chess piece with Intimidate? Do we use a Cheska chess piece with Intimidate? Well, I can already tell you that Unit Alloys comes out around 1 to 2% better than using a Cheska. Or do we go one step further and get ourselves a Unicorn Hunter Killer with Perfect Intimidate? You could do that as well. Or do we take this another step further and do we go with Unit Alloys Backpack, because then we'll get extra assault rifle damage, and just put Bloodsucker on that instead? Well, okay, well, first of all, let's go to step 1. I can tell you now, if I pull this over onto the screen here and we make it bigger, that if we use Perfect Intimidate as our bench with the Perfect Bloodsucker backpack, if we switch just the unit chest to a unit chest with Intimidate, we're actually going to do around 1.3% more damage. So the unicorn days of getting a Perfect Intimidate chest are actually over when it comes to this type of build, because Unit Alloys, because of the rate of fire bonus that it gives us, actually now out damages the perfect version of this talent, Perfect Intimidate, because this goes up to 10 stacks, as you can see here, and this one only goes up to 9 stacks. But because we now get a useful one piece bonus, because if you look at the Hunter Killer, the one piece bonus is only status effects, which is pretty much no use for what we're using it for, and then this rate of fire here on the Unit Alloys, all of a sudden now, even though we're dropping a stack on the talent, Unit Alloys actually out damages it. So that is a huge W. As far as damage goes, it's going to be pretty obvious that taking the Unit Alloys backpack with Bloodsucker is going to give us more damage, because literally we're taking the Liquid Engineer for survivability. So that is literally a no-brainer because we get 20% assault rifle damage. And we know that armor doesn't stack up that well. So, going from the Provocateur all the way down that rabbit hole that I have been this morning, this is what we end up with. Now, it's all red, which doesn't give you as much survivability due to Bloodsucker not having as much armor to scale off. So that's one thing for you to think about. I'm going to be using this in Heroic. So I'm just going to use a shield for the first bits to like kind of stack some armor up. And then when I've got a load of armor, I'm going to flip off my shield and just run around and try and get as many headshots as I possibly can with my Eagle Bearer, because then I'll get tenacity. I won't take any damage, and therefore I'm going to be keep up Intimidate just that little bit longer. So it all kind of works in a really nice synergy. But we all know that Heroic is fairly easy nowadays, especially if anyone's played for a lengthy period of time. So what you could do is essentially you could put a couple of blues in here as well, and that would work just as well. So if you were on an all red build, you would be at 55 crit chance, 137% critical hit damage, and your weapon damage will be at 132k. As well, we've got the double unit alloys bonus as well that we've rolled into this. So we're getting 20% extra from that 2-piece bonus that we weren't getting previously. So essentially dropping out 24% weapon damage from core attributes. You know, we're only 4% off. But we're adding 2 blues just to help with the Bloodsucker talent just that little bit more. So so now we're over on crit chance cap because of my pieces that I just rolled in. I know this was a bit of a long-winded way to start the video, but I really wanted to kind of go down the rabbit hole with you all at the same time. And kind of, you know, put in my thought process. There we go. So back to 55-137. We've got 2 blue cores in. In fact, let's not do that then. Let's just go with the Banshee Pulse. There we go. And that is what we are going to run with. So let me just flick through the pieces really quickly so you get everything. So we've got crit chance, crit damage on the mask. The backpack, crit chance, crit damage mod with Bloodsucker. The chest piece, crit chance, crit damage, Intimidate. Gloves, crit hit damage. Crit hit chance on the holster. And crit hit chance on the knees. But essentially just do what I did. Roll them around until you get to 55 crit chance, 137 critical hit damage. Alright, where shall we go? Let's go to Jefferson Trade. Not done this for a little while. One thing to remember just before we get started is the fact that because we are using Intimidate, remember for your damage bonus you need to be up close and personal within 10 meters. Otherwise you're going to realize that actually this is a lot of no damage that's going on right now. I'm still a little bit shocked that the perfect Intimidate chest has been knocked off the top spot. Been right at the top for a very long time. Where's he hiding? So as you can see there, kind of a perfect example, because of the EB talent we took no damage and therefore we did not lose our Intimidate. I can't see nothing. What is going on? Again, we're taking lots of damage, but we're not losing Intimidate. And because we've got to play so close, makes it a little bit easier for noobs like me to hit them headshots. And as you can see, survivability with the 2 blues that we rolled in is definitely not an issue. And damage wise, we only hit a half strikers stack.
He tends to leave a mess.
So as you can see there, now the damage kind of fell off the minute we had no stacks. And then look, the minute we got the bonus armor back, woof, back on. Essentially, you just got to do your best to keep the Eagle Bearer talent up. Rude. Oh, he give up resin him. I was going to let him resin and get 2 headshots. But there we go. As you can see, just play the Eagle Bearer talent. Be careful. And you're on to an absolute win. It's actually a really good combination. And considering how popular the Eagle Bearer is right now, because it's easily available in the winter event, and it got the skin added to it this morning as well, which I think a lot of people kind of like. I mean, I'm not so sure if it's a massive win or not. I do like the feathers that hang down on the original version, but this is, I mean, it is a nice look. I'm just not so sure if it's as good as the original look. But let me know what you think, as always, down below in the comments. Thank you for all your love and support, agents. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you have not yet already. I'm hoping to get to that 40k as soon as we possibly can in 2026, if we've not already hit it by the time I publish this video. And 50k is the new target for the end of the year, and I couldn't do that without you all. So thank you very much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.